We are Gathering of the Geeks, podcast and YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one with a look ahead. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso and my coach Beard, Chris Evans.
Is this the real life?
So, since you brought it up, it's kind of a funny thing about that. What's up to everybody in the comments here? Quick story to start this thing. Chris tweeted that out from the Gathering of the Geeks Twitter account just yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Is this real life? And, Chris takes medication sometimes when he's sick. I remember the one time you took like a sleeping medication, something, you get kind of loopy late at night. And I'm like, Chris is losing his mind here. He's hopped up on something. I can picture that kid.
That sounds so bad when you put it like that, though.
It's like the kid who's going to the dentist or whatever, and he's got his wisdom teeth taken, and he's all hopped up, and he's is this real life? I'm like, Chris has lost it. He's completely lost it. And then thankfully, I thought about it. And I looked at some of the comments, and Steve was getting in on it and adding some Queen lyrics to it. I'm like, this is it. Chris is starting the year off and going straight down.
Starting the year off medicated.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Starting it off medicated. That's right.
A medicated 2023.
Yeah. That wouldn't be the worst thing.
No. It's just Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Gathering of the Geeks is available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us. What's up to everybody in the comments already? Lauren Grabs, Cookie, Phil, Eric, how's it going on this fine Sunday evening? This fine Last of Us Sunday evening, where it's airing right now, 2 minutes old. I cannot wait. Yeah, 9:02 here in the Eastern Time Zone. It's airing right now. So thanks for who's interested in that show and also watching our show as well. And we'll be checking that out as soon as we're off the air here. Chris, what's been going on this week? What have you been reading? What have you been watching?
I actually just read the first books I have in weeks, right before the show started.
Getting back on the wagon, eh?
Yes, I'm getting back on the wagon because too much time has passed. I know the new issues are coming, and I want to, I don't want to be that far behind. So I caught up with It's Only a Teenage Wasteland, number 2.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. The problem with it for me, though, was I remembered nothing from the first issue. And it's probably because the way I read, so much time passed between the two for me, because I didn't read them on time. And so I read that. It was pretty good. I had to look back at the other issue first, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very interesting story. And it still has that kind of super bad rain feel to it.
That's such a cool a plot. I think it's super bad, but with rain.
Yeah, you smash them together, everybody's happy, except if you're in the story. I really like that book, though. The art is very cool. The story, it's very intriguing because you really don't know what's going on at all. It's just this thing happened, and now the second issue has that reveal at the end that was really cool. Did you read it?
I haven't read the second issue yet.
Oh, okay. It has a pretty cool reveal at the end, and there's some action, which is nice. And the action is surprisingly brutal. Although I guess I shouldn't be surprised considering it's apocalyptic.
Right.
I mean, stuff happens.
It does.
So, yeah, I read that. That was pretty good. And
I did want to ask you a question about that type of storytelling where they drop you in the middle of something. And then either they go back or during the time where they dropped you in, they kind of reveal what's happened to them. That's the latest comic. It's not the latest comic, but a new comic that came out recently was Behold Behemoth, where it's kind of done that, where it drops you after everything has happened, after the end of the world or whatever. Are you a fan of that type of thing, or would you rather see everything happen, or are you okay with being dropped in and then being filled in up until that point?
It really depends on the story. I think sometimes the story supports that idea, and it works because this is me. If you're wondering how I got there, I mean that's fine. But some stories never really. I don't think they catch you up enough, or the story actually isn't that interesting to do that with. This is a case or scenario with this particular book where I think it is supporting it so far. And there's just a lot of story to get to in these. I think it's 4 issues, maybe 5. there's a lot to get through. So I think it's working so far. And in general,
Very
yeah,
cool.
it just depends on the story.
What is that from? Where there's like somebody's like in a giant car crash or something or whatever, and then it freezes on them and it says, "Oh, I'm so and so. This is how I got here." What is that from?
I think it's become like a thing. There's a few projects that do it. I want to say Deadpool 2 did it most recently,
Oh, that's
didn't
right.
it?
Oh, yeah, he's on the big barrels or whatever,
Yeah, you want to
and
know
he's
how I
blowing
got
himself
here?
up.
But
Oh, so
he was.
it's a thing then,
It is because he was making a
right?
parody of something else, but I don't remember where it started.
Yeah, I can't remember where that's from.
And for some reason, the Teenage Wasteland song is stuck in my head while we're talking about this because I feel
Yeah,
like it goes with that.
yeah,
Like this is me. If you're wondering how I got here, and then
yeah.
some catchy music plays. Usually it's Teenage Wasteland, and we
That's right.
rewind. It's good stuff. But I would recommend
Aaron, how's it going?
check out that second issue. I think you'll like it.
I will do that.
I read that, and I read Batman 131, which I am late on as well.
That's the start of the new arc, right?
Start of the new arc, yes.
Right, with the where's Bruce Wayne and
Again,
all that kind of jazz. Yes, I know.
because we don't get that enough, We have not had that storyline ever where Bruce gets transported somewhere else and he has to come back. We've never had it.
Well, no, we were talking about that the last time we were talking about Zdarsky's Batman and even Ram V's Batman. It's like, oh, the takes. We don't need your take on it. Just tell a freaking Batman story.
Dude is in a bat suit. Let him fight creeps.
God.
Let him fight psychotic people in colorful costumes.
I know, it's so annoying sometimes.
It is, but it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I agree that it's a little bit different, but like on a main Batman title, I think they should. I don't know, maybe this is weird, but they should stick to the regular. Leave the Batman One Bad Day, the DC Black Label stuff. Put your takes on there.
There are enough Bat books where we could spread these takes around. You want to do Batman? Where is Bruce? Yeah. Write your own thing.
Yeah.
What happened to just status quo stuff?
Yeah.
Like that's the case with a lot of these bigger characters. I think Superman just got back to status quo with 1050 or 1051.
1051's the next one. 1050, yeah, just is the reintroduction. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just getting back to a status quo, but a lot of like even the X-Men are not really status quo still because we're still dealing with the Krakoa things, or really Moon Knight is one of the only status quo books I can think of.
Yeah, he's being Moon Knight and doing Moon Knight things.
Yeah, and like Lauren says here, Moon Knight continues to be phenomenal each month. You can't go wrong with it because it's a Moon Knight book. It's nothing else but a Moon Knight book.
Well, I was thinking about I just mentioned I think DC the Black Label stuff should be the more extra, the more takes, and the book that came out last year, One Dark Night from Jock.
Yeah,
3 issues of just Batman doing Batman things. Like he's trying to save the city and trying to get one bad guy to Blackgate prison. Like it's just Batman. He's being Batman. There's Batman villains and there's Gordon, and it's a fairly simple story, and it's not trying to do anything different, and it works so well.
Yeah.
Just a weird thing that take over people. Like it's like, oh, I'm on this book. I need to do something. I need to put my stamp on it. Just tell a Batman story, tell a Superman story, whatever you want to do.
I feel like eventually someone's take will just be a regular Batman story.
All right, I'm going to do it.
At some point, that's going to be considered a take. Oh, he's just doing a Batman story. Batman's fighting the Penguin. But for what it's worth, actually, Batman 131 is pretty good. I know we just did a lot of crapping on it, but 131 is it's a good book so far. It's just we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Not quite like this, but we've seen it. And the art is nice.
Yeah, different artist this go around, yeah?
Yeah, I forgot who it is, though. And the backup is surprisingly decent. I don't usually like backups. Zdarsky's writing the backup as well, and it deals with Tim and Dick in that first part of it.
Right.
Pretty good.
I find that interesting that the same writer's doing the main story and the backup as well.
He doesn't have time to fit all his takes in one book. That's why.
That's right. He's got to spread his takes out.
Got to move them around a little to make everything fit.
That's right.
In a world of takes, be Chip Zdarsky.
That's right. Multiple takes.
Batman, The Takes. That's all I read. Just those two.
Oh, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. It's like you said, it's good to get caught up because we are going to be taking a look ahead, and everything's going to come very fast, and it's hard to keep up sometimes. But then also, it's also good to wait until some things are done. Like I was saying about, we were talking off air. We were talking about the Mayfair Witches on AMC. And how it's 2 episodes in now if you're watching on the AMC app. And I said, well, I'll just wait until it's over now. And I did that with the 10,000 Black Feathers. It's pretty much what I read this week. I don't think I read anything else. There is, it's okay to wait for a little arc to be done, I think. You know, there is a sense that we have to feel like we need to read as it comes out, or we will miss things, or you'll forget some things as well. But I do find it, specifically if you're not buying the single issues as they come out, but maybe you're reading digitally like a lot of us are doing, that, you know, it's okay to wait until a series is done or a mini arc is done, and then reading the story all at once. You know, we're going to have a little bit of, or I'm going to have a little bit of trouble. And I think I found this as we were talking about Rings of Power, where you're trying to judge a show or judge an episode or a TV show on one episode and having not seen where it goes forward. You know, with 10,000 Black Feathers, I found reading issues 1 through 5 right after another, seeing the whole entire story as it all played out. It was much more enjoyable than reading one issue, waiting a month, and then reading another issue, and then waiting a month. So even buying collected is becoming a little bit more favorable for me, even though I am going to buy some single issues as well. Reading an entire story after it's all done is actually becoming a little more appetizing for me as well, rather than just reading one at a time. Even though I do like reading one at a time, I like talking to you and talking to friends about things one at a time. I'm finding an enjoyment level in waiting until something is all the way done. Like you're saying about Teenage Wasteland, it's only 4 issues. Like that's an easily digestible series to read all in one sitting.
Yeah, I think that just it's funny we say this reads better collected, which I'm sure any story does. But when I say that, what I mean is because you're not lost. Like, well, what is supposed to happen? And you don't also have that point where, well, what did happen before this? You just read it in one shot and you're good. I also like to read, you know, in trade and whatnot. But, you know, I also get caught up and forget about stuff. Yeah. Like you mentioned, Behold the Bee Moth, I think is what it was called. I don't remember if I read that or not. Yeah. I know I wanted to. I don't remember if I got to it.
Yeah, and I read the first issue. I'm like, oh, I'm really excited for the second one. And then just, you know, it gets mixed in with life and other comics. And I don't even know how many have come out now. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. It's hard to keep up. And that's why waiting until it's all done and you can read or watch it all together. So I didn't read too much as well this week. I just read 10,000 Black Feathers. But we talked about it last week when we were going through our best of 2022 and how Rings of Power is on both of our top 5 favorite for TV shows. And I started my rewatch of that this week. And watching that one after another, it's so much better. The story, you know, it's outstanding. And, you know, I don't know if I tweeted this out or I was going to tweet it out, but, you know, as we were watching the show, there were certain episodes where you're like, oh man, I missed seeing Nori in this episode where the Harfoots aren't in it. Or I didn't get to see Durin or Elrond in this episode. When you're watching it one after another, like I've watched 4 now. So that's basically just over 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours. They don't feel like episodes. It feels like one long movie.
Well, yeah, I think watching it that way, but even watching it the way we did, it felt like we're watching pieces of a movie. To me, it never really felt like a TV series. It felt like just something else. Yep.
Yeah, and watching it all in a row, it just feels like and I think it's 8 parts, 8 episodes. It's just going to feel like that's the way in hindsight and retrospect after the fact, after watching it, it's not a TV show. No. It's just a really, really long movie broken up into 8 parts. And watching it, You don't feel in the episodes where Nori or Elrond or Durin aren't in it, you don't miss them because you don't notice it as much. And like, I think I watch 2 episodes a night, and then I'll watch another 2 episodes, and just watching it like that, it's so freaking enjoyable. And like, we had a great time watching it as it came out, but watching it all together, it just makes such a difference. And for understanding the story as well, and picking up the hints, which is also something I'm noticing a little bit more, is stuff about Hallbrand, that kind of stuff.
Are there hints
picking
about
up the hints? Yeah, you can see subtle things, and specifically when Galadriel sees him for the first time on that ship or the wreckage, the raft or whatever. It's like you can see certain things, and the big moments still hit for me, like that final episode of, I think it's episode 5, where Hallbrand drops his little necklace or whatever on the table there, and he goes to walk off, and he comes back and grabs it, and he's still all suited up. Like, the moments still hit very well. It's like I said, we love the show, but watching it all together back to back, it's just, the enjoyment level is just very much more heightened. And I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm finally I put it off for a while, and I think it was our episode last week that got me really more interested in doing it. I didn't have anything else to watch either. Was thinking about newer stuff. So yeah, Rings of Power. If Chris, if you ever get a chance to rewatch it again, I recommend watching it as much as you can in a row. It's incredibly enjoyable.
I definitely want to do it. I know I'm going to do it before the next season comes, just because it's going to be so long between them. I'm going to need like a catch up recap kind of thing. So I might as well. But if I watch in between then and now too, that'd be fun, because I just love that series. I was so happy with it.
So good. It
really was so good.
Yeah, I don't know if there's something different about my TV now, but it's for some reason looks better now as well. Or maybe I'm just more focused on it.
I think you're more focused on it.
Or I can focus on other things. Like, okay, I know what Durin and Elrond are talking about the Muthil. I can get that, so I can focus on looking at different things. Or being angry at the Harfoots for leaving them behind, and
for being damn liars.
Bunch of fucking liars. So I don't have to focus on that as much anymore. So it's cool to focus on other things, and I think I'm really focusing on how good the show looks. As much as we said it's not a TV show, like, it looks like a movie from opening frame to closing frame of every episode. It's outstanding.
Before I comment on that, Grabs had a thing here. I go through previews each month and make a list of all the collected editions that are coming out that I want. Then I wait for them on in-stock trades. That's a great way to do it too. As far as comics right now, I think a lot of people are doing that. And I like I said, I think it's cool. That's why I prefer to read now myself. So also, digital for me is the way to go. Aaron is watching Jack Ryan, 3 episodes in the current season. I always hear great things about that show. I would like to watch it.
I watched the first season, and then I just dropped off. It's on season 3 now, though, or is it just season 2? I can't remember. Aaron, let me know. I can't remember.
Jack Ryan is the one with John Krasinski, not the one with the blonde guy from Titans, right?
That's Jack Reacher. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Jack Ryan, Jack Reacher. Oh boy,
these Jacks.
Both Amazon shows too.
These Jacks. It's funny you mentioned though that you were noticing more in Rings of Power, because after I watched the second episode of Mayfair Witches this week, I was like, I'm just curious. Am I just looking back with rose-colored glasses, or did Interview with the Vampire look that much better?
Right.
So I rewatched the pilot for Interview with the Vampire. I was like, no, this does look better. But I picked up a lot of different things. Like, there's even a Mayfair Witch reference, which at the time I don't think I remembered at all or paid attention to. But there is one, so that's fun. It's season 3.
Oh, geez, yeah. See, I missed the entirety of season 2, so. Whew.
Oh, another Scream trailer is dropping on Thursday. That's cool.
Ooh, baby.
I didn't watch the first one, the first trailer.
I think I did. I think they're in a subway car, and Ghostface is popping up and creeping them out.
I just hope he kicks the trash can. That's all I want to see.
That's right. That's what our hope is.
Yeah, just
very much
kick the trash
Jason Ghost in Manhattan. Yeah.
Was Rings of Power all you watched this week?
As far as I can remember. I tweeted this out. I watched the mid-season finale of 1923, and then the season finale of Tulsa King. And Yellowstone season 5, their mid-season finale was 2 weeks ago. And they all air on Sundays, and now they're done until end of February now. So I'm kind of in Yellowstone rut. Not like, and I guess it's good that The Last of Us starts this Sunday, so I'll have something to watch every Sunday.
I was gonna say, I think that'll keep you busy.
It'll keep me busy. It just like there's 3 shows, 1923, Yellowstone, and Tulsa King's obviously not a Yellowstone show, but it feels like the same kind of vein, written and directed by the same guy, Taylor Sheridan. So that's pretty much all I watched. We watched Puss in Boots yesterday. You told me to watch that, and I said I was going to do it the other day, but we played Mario most of the day. My son, we had an issue with our washing machine, so me and my wife dealt with our washing machine that was broken, and my son sat in front of the TV for an hour and a half. It was glued to Puss in Boots the entire time.
I was glued to Puss in Boots for an hour and a half.
And yeah, like I don't know and there's not many people talking about it. Maybe there is, not that I'm seeing, but like everything that I've read about Puss in Boots and the small amount of people that have told me about it, love this movie. And it's like, I think it's the third one.
No, it's the second. The second Puss
is
in
it
Boots.
The second one? So anyway, she's like, oh man, Puss in Boots from the Shrek universe has made one of people's most favorite movies in the last couple months or whatever.
It is cinema.
Crazy. Yeah.
It is cinema, as the kids say. Really though, I love that movie. It's just amazing. Even like the subtle things like the animation, it switches styles during certain parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
It just
really like the animation. Really like
it was different, and it was easy on the eyes, but it was just so well animated, which most of those DreamWorks films are. But this one I think stood out especially. Also, the voice cast is great. The character designs. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I think it's good for an adult or for a kid.
One of the biggest surprises. Huge surprise for me.
Like I knew I was gonna like it because I love the character. I've loved him since I saw him in Shrek. But this kind of exceeded my own expectations of it. Like this is just a genuinely good movie.
Yep.
I will say though, it's kind of so for kids it works, but there's some adult humor that I think is a little weird, because like a character will be talking and they'll be kind of like going on a rant, and they'll start hitting those sensor beeps.
Oh yeah. And
that was kind of weird. Like, oh, okay.
Well, it's funny when you think about Shrek, how there's adult comedy in that too. It's a weird blend that certain movies try to do, where they appeal to the kids, and then there's the subtle little adult jokes mixed in there as well. I remember Shrek was very much like that.
Shrek is, but it doesn't. I think the censorship beeps kind of push it.
Sure, I get you.
But it's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Speaking of like animations for adult and children, I watched Velma this week.
I asked my wife if she's going to watch that. She's a big fan of Mindy Kaling. So,
did she watch it?
I don't think she watched it yet.
Okay, I'm curious, and she's a fan of Mindy. I wonder what she'll think about it.
Big fan of Mindy Kaling. So the way that I read it, it's like Harley Quinn.
Kind of. Scooby-Doo? Sort of. It wants to be Harley Quinn, but it's not.
Okay.
I'm not in love with it. I think I'm actually done.
Oh wow. How many episodes? 3 were dropped, or 2? Or... 2. Yeah.
I think I'm done. I'll see.
Okay.
I don't think it's made for me. I don't know who it's made for, but I don't think it's me.
That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, who's asking? Well, I don't like the conversation about who asked for it, but who is the show for? It's not for kids.
No, it's not for kids.
Why Velma?
Well,
interesting.
I think the concept of like an adult Scooby-Doo thing is cool. I'm not against that at all. Like even James Gunn, his version of the Scooby-Doo movie was going to be rated R. And the studio like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. So I understand that, it'd be cool to have it. I would enjoy a full Scooby-Doo for an adult kind of thing. I think that'd be fun. But this is not that. I don't know what this is. This is one of those cases where, I'm pretty freewheeling with adaptations. Do what you want for the most part. Do something new if you want. That's fine. Just make it good. But this is one of those cases where you didn't need to use the Scooby-Doo license. Right. This could have been anything else. Right. You could have called it, I don't know, Louise, and had a teenager solve mysteries. It would have been the same outcome. There's no reason for it to be a Scooby-Doo product. So yeah, not for me. Cookie says I saw some bad reviews about Velma. Yeah, I don't think it's beloved right now. It doesn't seem to have a ton of fans.
Okay, interesting.
I watched that. I watched Puss in Boots, which I'd watch again, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that again.
Yep.
I'm keeping track of what I watch now this year because last year I saw my friends doing it. Like, hey, I want to be part of that group.
Yep.
So I've been doing that. I'm checking my list now to see what I
Yeah, that's
watched that
good.
maybe I forgot. Actually, I don't even know how to get to my list. How do I do this? There we go. Okay, no, that covers it. Yeah, and as far as the other night, I don't know how this happened. I was on HBO Max and it was pretty late and I was tired. I was like, I don't want to watch anything I'm going to get sucked into.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's Full House. I just put on Full House. Somehow I ended up watching 2.5 hours of Full House.
Not Fuller House.
No,
Full House.
Full House, the original one.
Right.
And yeah, I just got sucked into it. It's a good time though.
Did you start at the beginning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
All right then. Gonna add that to your watch list so you don't forget it by the end of the year.
No, probably not.
No, but,
No, it's only for movies. I'm only kind of movies I watch if I have to finish the movie for it to make the list. If I don't see credits, it doesn't count.
oh, you got a real protocol here, eh?
Yeah. I would jump off a bridge. Yes, if everybody else jumped off the bridge with their letterbox account, I would too. Let's go. We
I've
can
seen
hold
people
hands.
do it I've seen people do it with their comics, and I thought about doing it too. But I forget to read a book. I'd forget to write it down. I can't keep up with that either.
Yeah, it is like sometimes I struggle to remember to keep up with it, but I'm doing my best.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I watched and read this week.
Nice.
Full House, Puss in Boots, and Velma.
I like the variety there.
It's a lot of variety.
A show that's 30 years old.
It's dated. It really is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I remember when Fuller House came out, and I can't remember if my wife was. I think my wife watched it, but I'm not sure if she went back as well. But all of those shows feel awfully dated, like Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Full House, Saved by the Bell. It's like, oh man, they are a product of their time.
They are, and I mean, some are harder to watch now than others. Like I used to love Saved by the Bell as a kid.
Yeah,
I find it very hard to watch now.
Yeah,
Especially because as a kid, I think you have more of a, well, I guess that could happen, sure, but then as an adult, you watch it, it's like absolutely not. What is going on here? It's just harder for me to process it.
for sure.
Grab says if I have to write down what books I read, I might as well write a book. No thanks. Yeah, I get that too, but I think like for me, with keeping track of the movies, it's just I just want to see how many movies I watch in a year, basically.
Well, and when we were doing our look back at our favorites, like I had to go back and like try and really remember what I read for the year. I like went all the way back on I think it was leagueofcomics.com. You just go all the way back to January. Okay, oh, let's go to the next week. Oh, I read that. Go to the next week. Oh, I read that. It is hard to keep track. Yeah, that's what I did for the comics. But it's hard. It's hard to keep track because there's just so much.
There is
that comes out in a year.
I mostly it's kind of funny for my list. I saw everybody else's list. I was like, hey, I remember reading that. I watched that.
That's right.
It would jog my memory to see other people's lists.
That's right.
Saved by the Bell, Zach Morris, Criminal Mastermind in the Making. Yes, he is a horrible human in that show. Or not horrible, but he does so many odd things, just bizarre things.
I think there's an account somewhere that calls him out on all the terrible things that he does to people.
There should be. I mean, the Buddy Bands commercial is still offensive.
All right, so that's what we read and what we watched last week, guys. On last week's show, we did our favorites from 2022. So we thought for our second episode of 2023, we'd do a little bit of a look ahead, maybe our most anticipated. So we put together a sort of kind of list, but if anybody wants to hook us up with what they are excited for 2023, there is a lot coming out this year. As I was looking ahead for the movies, specifically in the March and April time period, holy cow, there's some heavy stuff. But let's do some video game stuff first, Chris, which we didn't actually talk about too much last year. And maybe that's because there wasn't a lot of big, AAA titles that really came out last year. But one of the things that we're both looking forward to, and one of the things that comes out the soonest, would be Hogwarts Legacy, which is out in February. Which, we've seen some good gameplay from it. We've seen lots of pictures and stills and mechanics and stuff like that. Chris, I think we're both very excited to be going back into the back into the wizarding world, as it were. Both very excited for this game, based on not just story, but just the gameplay and the freedom of exploration in Hogsmeade and in Hogwarts, all that kind of stuff. Whether you're riding a hippogriff or on a broom, Hogwarts Legacy looks really, really good. And for February 10th, it's not that long away now.
Less than a month now.
Yeah.
Less than a month until I can create my own evil Slytherin character.
That's right. Yeah, I did look that up, by the way. You can be a little evil. You can do.
I'll take it.
You can't go up and punch a kid or whatever, or give him a Horcrux or any kind of bad things. But you can be Slytherin. You can dress evil and look evil.
That's all I'm asking for. Just let me live out the Slytherin dream.
That's right.
I'll put it together in my head canon that I'm doing evil things when I'm behind the scenes. That's fine.
That's right.
I am Snape, the evil version of Snape, because he wasn't a bad guy.
No, not in the end. He wasn't.
He was just a troubled gentleman.
That's right. And then in March we've got Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
We're both excited for. We saw the kind of some gameplay when we were watching the Game Awards. I think we also have some pretty high hopes for that one as well. I read, I don't know if we knew this already. We probably did. I read just the other day that it's a 5-year time jump from from Fallen Order. So it's kind of cool to see where everything changes there. That's in March. I wrote this down, and it's something that I do want to play. I've got on mine The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which is the new Zelda game for the Switch. I haven't played the other one for the Switch, and I can't remember what it's called right now.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild, that's right. I love Zelda so much, but I've been off of playing the Zelda games since, for a very long time, since the Wii one, Twilight Princess. So I'm hoping to get back into Zelda. Hoping a little bit this year I'll play Breath of the Wild and then hopefully play Tears of the Kingdom, and that's out in May. The big kind of the middle of May 12th, and then the other May game, May 26th, is the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which I don't know what our expectations of enjoyment are for that game right now. We've seen a little bit. We saw that one Game Awards thing, with having Batman in the game, not being able to play as Batman. I like the idea of the open roam aspect to the game, which I think is going to be a thing. I don't know, Chris. What are your overall thoughts about Kill the Justice League coming out in May?
It's one of those things I'll play it when it comes out, but I'm not anticipating. It's not what I would want in the game. I don't even understand what it is really because they haven't shown us much of it. It looks like it's just kind of a generic shooter with characters that we know. So I'm not too excited for it, but I'll play it when it comes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it got delayed again, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll see because they haven't shown anything.
Yeah, 100%. And Spider-Man 2 comes out this year. I don't think we have a date for that yet.
No, but I'm pretty sure it'll hit its date some point this year. Yeah, that's my most anticipated, probably.
100%.
Why would you buy a game you're not interested in? So a lot of times with me anyway, if it gets announced, I'm not that interested in it. I'll wait for like a review or something, and if I like the way the review looks or some hands-on gameplay, then I'll pick it up. But generally, I have to see something that interests me to get it. Lauren played some GTA 5 again this week. Honestly, therapeutic to just go driving on that game. I agree, it is a good time. I also
play Grand Theft Auto and try and drive like a normal person, like try and obey the law?
I have. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a little different.
There's a whole community online who do this role play game with it, and so like they've modded it, of course, and they give people roles like, okay, you're police, so you do police stuff. You're a pedestrian, you do whatever you do. It sounds really fun. I don't know how to explain it as well, but they just have like living roles, and it's a big role playing thing. It sounds fun.
Nice. Yeah, I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to try and drive slow for a while. Stop at a red light, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, aha, take that. I'm a good citizen.
Yeah, you could try it.
Yep. Any other video games that you know that are coming out this year, Chris, or any rumored ones that you're excited for this year?
No, just my main things are Hogwarts, Spider-Man, and Star Wars.
Jedi Survivor, yeah.
Well,
absolutely. Pick them up, pay them, and drop them off.
I trade the hookers with respect. That's admirable. Noble. It's very noble.
All right, let's switch over to comics, Chris. This is another one where I was trying to look ahead, trying to find dates for things. We only got solicits up until March, but I kind of took just a general idea. And you can help me out with this one with the X-Men books that are coming out this year. Obviously, I think we're getting that Sinister crossover deal.
We're getting a bunch of Sinister books. Like that weird one where Nightcrawler is spliced with other characters. Like there's a Nightcrawler in Spider-Man, a Beast Nightcrawler, a Wolverine. It looks bizarre. I'm all in on it.
Nice. And then I put a whole bunch of Superman comics. This is the year of Superman for 2023 for comics. Action Comics, Adventures of Superman, John Kent, Superman, and then Superman Lost. And then I think there's also that Space Age book that finishes this year. There's a lot of Superman coming for 2023 with them, which I'm very excited about. And I was thinking about Batman, Eric in the comments said the continuation of One Bad Day. I was wondering what kind of DC Black Label stuff we're going to get, those 3-issue stuff, like on Dark Knight. I wonder if we're going to get more, or even the Imposter stuff that we haven't been announced yet, but maybe we'll get more in the summer. Obviously, this is the dawn of the DCU.
Yeah.
So there's going to be lots of changes that way, but I was wondering about DC Black Label stuff that hasn't been announced yet. So
there's a lot of cool Dawn of DC stuff, though. Like even the Green Lantern book is going to be cool. I'm very excited for the Shazam book, which I've never excuse me, I never wanted to read a Shazam book, but I will now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. You know what this is? Royal City, The Life of Richie Pike?
Yeah, it's just the sequel to Royal City from Jeff Lemire.
Got it. That's what Brad is.
Yeah, as he should be. What else do we got here? Another Lemire book that I'm excited for. Actually, 2 of them. He's got Phantom Road that he's collaborating with Gabriel Walta, who they did Sentient together. That was just announced. That comes out in March. And then finally, hopefully, I think we're getting it in a few weeks, the final 2 issues of Swamp Thing Green Hell.
Oh, I thought that already came out.
Issue 1 came out all the way back at the end of 2021, and then it was delayed for all of 2022. So we're finally getting issues 2 and 3 that are coming out this year.
I forgot that existed. That's the Ron B book, right?
No, that's the Jeff Lemire and Doug Mank one.
What was the Ron B one called?
Just Swamp Thing. He was doing Swamp Thing, like the ongoing series.
This is Green Hell, you said?
Yeah, Swamp Thing Green Hell. Yeah, this is the one that it's got Constantine in it, and it's like
set in the future. Right. I think I read the first one.
I think you did too, yeah. Well, it feels like it was forever ago.
Yeah, I remember it was like a really weird book.
Yep. Very bloody. A lot of blood and a lot of gore, yes. So finally getting to finish that off. I was trying to look ahead for comics, and it's very hard to do, like I said, for March, but I'm trying to think what else is supposed to be coming this year that was announced aside from that. Oh, Blackula. Is that out? It's not out yet?
It's coming soon. I think it's like any day now. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty excited for Blackula.
You should be.
It's going to be fun. The movie's fun.
Yeah.
The movie's a blast. Grabs wants a Black Label Booster Gold book. Show me his greed and thirst for fame and make it dark and gritty. I didn't know Booster Gold could be dark and gritty. That's kind of cool.
I thought he just talked to a little robot-y alien and made quick jokes.
I'd like to check that. And I wonder if a dark and gritty Booster Gold would hit more with people. Because I think he's a popular character anyway. I know Grabs is a huge fan of him.
Huge fan.
And I wonder if, you give it a different version, if it might hit. and make people go back and look at other Booster Gold stuff because he's a cool character. I like him too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know as much, I don't know as much about him as like Grabs does, but I like him.
Yeah, I don't even know what I think. My like first real introduction to Booster Gold was reading Heroes in Crisis from Tom King a couple of years ago. I hadn't really seen him in anything. I think he was in an animated movie or there was a TV show.
Was it Brave and the Bold?
And I think he was in that. That's right. And I never saw that. So I have no real
He was in Smallville too.
knowledge. Yeah.
He
I have no
counts as
real
Turbo Man.
knowledge of Booster Gold. So I like a limited series of Booster Gold would interest me highly. Something I don't have to obviously get too invested in, but kind of learn more about the character. So I agree. That would be kind of a cool thing. But yeah, DC Black Label stuff. I'm looking for more of that.
Me too.
And I like Eric's thing about the One Bad Day stuff. We're getting the Bane one. I think it comes out next week.
Yes, it's this week.
And then the Catwoman one's not that far after that one. They're actually releasing them a lot closer together. Bane and Catwoman, I think.
We're also getting this week is the penultimate issue of Bloodstained Teeth. That's exciting. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So that's almost done. That's going to be something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Read the Jeff Johns Booster Gold run. It's really good.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Every character that is at the top of the DC mountain has been written by Jeff Johns in some shape or form.
Except Batman, I think.
Yeah, he's never written ongoing.
No.
Batman, which is really interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming to an end, but we'll have that to look forward to. Comics are hard though, because like you said, they only show them so far out. Yeah,
it's all about the pre-orders. It's all about
pre-orders.
getting the most sales. So
for me though, it's like Sins of Sinister and Blackula. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I'll probably read one of the 17, or probably two of the 17 Bat books that are coming. At least
that's right.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's it for comics, guys. Let us know if there's any other comics you're looking forward to this year.
More Twig.
More Twig. Yeah, hopefully some more Twig. I'm
actually no, on a realistic note, I want to see what Scotty Young comes up with for this year.
Right.
I'm curious because he's got me 2 years in a row so far.
Yeah. I was wondering if he gets more of his, more original stuff. Like he's doing I Hate Fairyland right now. It's kind of obviously an established character, but it's something new for him.
There's that new Tynan book that looks good too, but I don't remember the name of it. I think it's got an alien head on the cover. Image is going to be putting it out.
Blue Book?
Yes.
No, that's Dark Horse. Oh, that's Dark Horse.
Is it? That was Image.
Yeah. Tales of ordinary people encountering the strange and the impossible. Teaming with artists, they retell some of the most popular UFO and alien encounter accounts.
That's the one.
Starting with the infamous. So that's Dark Horse, book number 1. That comes out in February.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. We've talked about when Tynan's not writing Batman, I'll read whatever he puts out.
True stories too. Different takes on UFO encounters. I like that. Sounds awesome.
That sounds very interesting. I'll check that out.
Mm-hmm.
After The Closet, he really won me over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let's switch to TV. Chris, I did a little look ahead. There's lots here with no release dates as well, but some of the early things that I found. We obviously got Mando Season 3, Mandalorian Season 3. It's out March 1st. Oh boy, am I excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after I wasn't too happy with Boba Fett.
Right.
I didn't get through Andor yet. I will. Is there another Star Wars show last year?
Kenobi.
Oh yeah, I love Kenobi. I don't know why I keep forgetting it came out last year.
Yeah, it's a star. just a total blur.
Something about it, I just keep forgetting, but I really like that a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Oh geez, grabs things to the
season 2. I didn't watch the first season. Did you watch any of The Bear?
No, but my wife watched it and she loved it, and now the main actor guy's winning all of the awards.
I saw that.
So I wanna watch it for sure. The other thing is the what's his name from the show you watched, the prison show?
Blackbird. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Paul Walter Hauser, I think, won.
Yeah, that guy. That he's in Cobra Kai as well. As kind of a goofy character, but seeing him getting all the awards for that, it makes me interested in going to watch that show because
he was fantastic in that show.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually, I think I mentioned it. There's a scene of him toward the end of the show that's just hard to watch. His delivery and the way it's written is just insane.
Oh, interesting.
It's very uncomfortable. So give him the awards, yes.
Cool. I didn't know there was a season 2 coming of The Bear, so that's cool. Everyone seems excited for Mando. The Bear, yeah.
Looking forward to leaked images from. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I want to see the suit. I'm curious what Daredevil suit they're going to go with. I don't think they're going to keep the yellow.
We shall see.
I like them to do the black and red next.
Yeah, so there is lots of Marvel coming this year. We're getting the Secret Invasion show. I think we're getting that Agatha Covet show. Armor Wars. That's a movie that got changed to a TV show.
Ironheart is this year.
Ironheart. That's it. That's the other.
I am interested in Ironheart and Secret Invasion. Agatha Coven of Chaos.
I think that's it.
I could probably do without. But we'll see.
So neither of those ones. I think Secret Invasion might have a release date, but I'm not sure. But the other ones don't.
So. Oh, isn't Loki season 2 this year too?
I think that's also true. Holy cow! They're gonna have 4 TV shows this year.
Yeah, Marvel's looking to shove it down our throats. Between
and then
that,
they got the Star, and the Star Wars stuff as well. They got Ahsoka coming out this year, and obviously Mando. I think is there one other Star Wars show?
I don't think so. I don't think Andor comes back this year.
Oh right, that's what I was thinking about, the part 2 of Andor.
Yeah, I think that's next year. Because if I'm correct, they're filming it now.
Right. For the HBO side, we've got Succession season 4 comes out this year.
I miss Logan.
Barry season 4 comes out this year as well. I'm excited about both of those. Succession's usually the start of the year, I think. So maybe they're going to push it a little bit until maybe the summer or the end of the year, which will be interesting.
Graham said, Marvel will treat you with respect like a GTA hooker. I don't know about that. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They should be so lucky, I guess.
They'll take your money, that's for sure.
Marvel, yes, they will. I don't know about the respect thing, though. I did end up watching What If, so I don't know about the respect.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know about them respecting us.
I got down on the list here, Gen V. Also, it's the Boys spinoff.
What's that?
It's the Gen V is how they're making superheroes by putting Gen V as the chemical or the something that they're putting into people to make them into superheroes. That was one of the big revelations from the last season of The Boys. So now we're seeing like the school of them schooling their version of
like Sky High?
The Boys. Yeah. Or like X-Men or something like that.
Okay.
But obviously for The Boys, which is bloody and violent and all that good stuff. So that comes out this year. I'm excited about that. And Eric's mentioned in the comments here, the Star Trek. This is like the year of Superman is this year. It's the year of Star Trek this year as well. There's going to be the new episode or new season of Strange New Worlds, the new season of Star Trek Discovery, and then the new and final season of Star Trek Picard as well. All this year.
That's a lot of Star Trek.
Paramount Plus, all on Paramount Plus as well. They're really pumping it out, so I'm looking forward to all of those this year, which should be a lot of fun.
So you'll be living long and prosper.
Yeah, I'll be living long and prosper. Very good.
I know a few Star Trek things.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them. I've seen the newer movies.
That's it for TV shows, Chris. I don't think there's any other TV shows you think about that are coming this year.
Well, like we were talking about it, we know we're getting Only Murders in the Building back. Can't wait, but there's no release date. If I had to guess, it'll be late summer, early fall. Can't wait for that. We know Ted Lasso will be back.
Hope so.
Some point.
Jesus.
I miss Ted. I've been pretty vocal about that.
I was looking the other day. The creators of that show have made something else. They've made a new TV show.
Oh, what is it?
And I was wondering if that's why the Ted Lasso season 3 hasn't come.
Maybe.
creators.
Did we talk about Brett Goldstein's podcast?
No, let's talk about it.
Is that his name, first of all? The guy who plays Roy Kent? I think that's his name.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so he has his podcast, Movies to be Buried With, I believe is what it's called.
I love the name.
Yeah, it's great. So he gets a guest on, and they just kind of talk about different things, and they talk about movies that they would want to be buried with. Like, what movie would you take with you, as the title suggests. And it's actually a really fun podcast. It's kind of hilarious to hear him not as Roy Kent. Because for whatever reason, like the other actors in the series, I know they are, this is not who they are, especially Jason Sudeikis himself. But with Brett Goldstein, he is Roy Kent to me. So hearing him speak as himself is a different world entirely.
He's not as grumpy?
He's not grumpy. He's pretty funny. I would recommend listening to his podcast, though.
Nice. So I found the show. It's from Apple TV. It's called Shrinking. It's got Jason Segel and Harrison Ford in it. It comes out January 27th.
That's a hot pairing.
And written by Emmy Award-winning Ted Lasso co-creator Bill Lawrence, Emmy-winning Ted Lasso star, writer, and co-executive Brett Goldstein and Segel. So there you go.
Well, I am in.
Yeah. So that's on Fridays, January 27th, and a new episode after that is weekly as well. So I was wondering, I read that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's why a little bit of delay on Ted Lasso, because the co-creator, Brett Goldstein, are kind of doing other things at the same time as well.
I just want Ted back.
Give him back to us.
I miss Ted.
Okay, so that's TV shows. Let's get into movies, Chris. I was doing this list of movies, and I'm sure there's some that I missed. I couldn't believe the movies that are coming out this year. And we said that last year. Like, last year was a crazy movie, and I've only put the big ones. Like, there's so many other smaller movies that we ended up watching this past year that made some of our lists, all that kind of stuff. So right out of the gate, and this is one that I cannot wait for, is Knock at the Cabin. The M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's got Batista in it. It's got Rupert Grint in it. Yeah, it comes out on February 3rd. The trailers for this movie look creepy as heck. I can't wait for this movie. And, Dave Bautista's kind of got, his ever growing IMDb page.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of him this year as well. And this is a role, as he was talking about recently, where he's kind of overplaying Drax. He's overplaying the goofy and the stupid. He's looking for more of the dramatic roles and that kind of thing. I think this is a great start for him in 2023. I can't wait for this movie.
As we're talking about movies, I just want to mention something. Phil says 2023 movies is going to be fire emoji. Fire emoji. I'm going to read that like Siri would.
Yeah, that's right. Very phonetically.
Yes, I want to do it that way. But if you don't follow Phil on Twitter, you should. He does a podcast called Phil at the Movies. It is an excellent film podcast. And his episode from Friday is like a recap of 2022. Great stuff. So check that out.
Absolutely.
So I am not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan anymore. I love The Sixth Sense. I'm one of the 3 people who like The Village.
Hey, me too.
Oh, okay. We are too. So we need to find the other one. We need to find our third amigo here.
Yeah,
but
right.
Like his recent stuff does not do it. Like old.
Did you?
Yeah, I felt older watching that damn movie. It wasted it. Like Thomasin McKenzie is in it, who I think is amazing. She's going to do great things.
Yeah,
that movie was a waste of her. Everybody, I just didn't really care for it, but that's okay. I'll have to check out this Knock at the Cabin though.
Yep.
I didn't know Batista's in it. I didn't know Rupert Grint's in it. Those are 2 things like, hey, I know them.
It's weird.
That's a weird group, but yeah, I'm in.
Absolutely.
And I want to like his movies. I did like Split for the most part.
I like Split. Yep.
I just don't like the ending. I didn't like how it shifts into something else.
I get you.
Cookie also wants to see Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, yeah.
The new Ari Aster movie. Yes. Beau is Afraid.
That trailer is ridiculous.
I love it. I was going to add it to the list, but I figured somebody would mention it in the comments. Beau is Afraid looks amazing from Ari Aster. I checked out Hereditary, and I might just went blank. What is the other movie?
Midsummer.
Yeah, I checked those out back to back, and I think my life changed forever.
That's right.
Just a good time. So yeah, I'm
Yep.
all in for Beau Was Afraid. Love the trailer.
Ending out February is Ant-Man 3, Quantumania, which the newest
excited.
trailer for that just came out. Looks like a crazy, wild time. And I've always said it, the smallest member of the MCU, the weirdest, is going to end up being some of the biggest and most important, much like he was for Endgame. I think obviously Quantumania is doing the Kang Dynasty, all that kind of stuff. So that's February 17th. And then we get into March. March is stupid crazy for big movies. So on March 3rd, we've got Creed 3. On March 10th, we've got Scream 6. On March 17th, we've got Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. And then March 24th is John Wick 4. Every week of March has fairly big movies. Chris, Creed 3, Scream 6, Fury of the Gods, John Wick 4. From March, what's some of your excitement for those movies?
I have not seen any of the Creed films. I have not seen most of the Rocky films. So that one's the lowest on the list. I probably won't see it.
Okay, fair enough.
But the other ones, I'm there. Scream, I'm very excited for. Shazam, I think, is going to be the superhero film. That's going to be the underrated one of the year, I
think. Nice.
John Wick, I mean, who doesn't want to see Keanu Reeves survive anything again?
Absolutely.
I mean, the guy is tougher than James Bond at this point. He fell off a building and kept walking.
He did so.
Yeah, he did. He just kept going. So, yeah, I'm good with all of those. I was kind of hoping Ballerina was going to come out at the same time.
Yes.
But I don't think it is.
Yeah, we talked about that. So just seeing more Ana de Armas this year in an action role would be cool.
She's good at it. And it's just also cool, like we also said, I want to see more of the John Wick universe, whether it's that prequel to Hotel that's coming, Ballerina, I want it all. He stepped off a building. Yeah, I guess that's more what it was. He stepped off the building and kept going. But really,
just a slight misstep.
If they ever did a crossover between John Wick and Terminator and they said he was a Terminator, I would believe it. Like if John Wick is a T-2000 or something, like, okay, cool. Makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Yeah.
Right. The guy doesn't stop.
Yep. All right, let's move to April, Chris. We've got Super Mario Bros. In April 7th. We've got Renfield, April 14th. And then we've got Evil Dead Rises, April 21st. We've seen trailers for all three of those. Most recently, we just saw the Renfield trailer and the Evil Dead Rises trailer, which are both very different trailers and sold both very different movies. I couldn't make it through the Evil Dead Rises trailer. It was too scary.
I don't know how you get into the
movie. I don't know. And maybe the mood will be different, but that trailer is very well done, very well put together. Has me very excited to see how it blends into the world as well. And then that Renfield trailer, Chris.
Cinema. The Renfield trailer is interesting because that's not what I thought the movie was going to be at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really say what it was beforehand. All we knew was that it's Renfield and Dracula. That's really what we knew. But seeing the trailer, and it's kind of like Renfield meets John Wick, ironically, and Dracula is there to be stopped, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And I am in it. I was in the day it was announced, and I am still in. And
I was worried. I was worried for you because of how in you were. I'm like, oh yeah, this trailer is either going to throw you completely off, or it's going to throw you completely, really cement the fact that you were excited about it. And I don't even know if any of that changed. I don't know if it swayed you either way from the trailer.
Not really. All it did was just show me what it was. I was basically cemented once they cast Nicolas Cage. That's the honest truth. Once they cast him, it's done.
Yep.
I could have pre-bought the ticket there. It didn't matter.
Yep. You could.
But that looks, of course, phenomenal. Can't wait for that. The Evil Dead trailer was what surprised me because I only recently saw the Evil Dead movies and stuff.
Right.
We've talked about it. You posted that GIF, and it was on from there. But
yeah.
Evil Dead Rise looks amazing. And I love how even the trailer is so dark and scary. They don't hide it. Like
No.
Cookie says here, that Evil Dead trailer was terrifying. I can't wait to see that in the theater. I don't even like going to see horror movies in theaters, but I'm seeing Evil Dead in the theater. I'm so excited for that movie. And I like how they're a week apart, Renfield and Evil Dead. So should I feel like it, I can do a double feature one day.
Oh boy.
And I might. That would be a good contrast.
Nice.
Nicolas Cage eating the screen as Dracula, and then whatever the hell that is, eating the screen. Grab says, I've said this 3 times. It hasn't happened for the movies, but I think Mario movie will be my boys' first theater experience. That'd be cool. I think you guys would all enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, crazy excited for that movie. Me and my son and my whole family. Can't wait for it.
Nick Cage was born to play Dracula. I agree. I'm actually surprised it took this long. And I need to track down the velvet tuxedo he wears for Halloween.
Oh, yes. Yes, you do.
I think that's just going to happen. It is what it is. Nicolas Cage is Dracula. Enough said. Agreed. Grab's talking about his boys here. They're addicted to Mario Brothers. They've literally made levels on paper with stickers and made a pretend controller that they pretend to play on the back of their bedroom door. That's so cute, actually.
Nice.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't there a Mario game where you can design the levels and play them?
Yeah, Mario Maker.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yep.
It is this.
All right, let's move to May, Chris. There's only one I have written down here for May, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy #3.
Yes.
Excited for that. Seeing the ending of that crew and kind of the last hurrah for James Gunn and in the MCU as well. That's kind of cool.
Riding off into the sunset.
That's right. June, another big one. We've got the Spider-Verse sequel on June 2nd. We've got Transformers Rise of the Beast June 9th. We've got The Flash on June 16th. And then Indiana Jones 5 on June 30th. Chris, we've been talking about that Flash movie. We want it to come out and be over with.
I just want to get it over with.
Yeah. Let's time to move on.
Good, whatever it is. I just want to get it over with.
Yep. And I'm excited for Indiana Jones 5. Also terrified about it as well.
Maybe I'll actually watch the Indiana Jones movies before that one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. So that's June. July, I've got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, July 14th. And then Oppenheimer, I've got written down for July 21st. You're excited for Oppenheimer.
I am. I'm also excited for Barbie, which I believe is the same day.
I didn't write it down, but I wasn't sure how far you wanted to go here with Barbie.
We need Barbie, I think.
Okay, good.
I think it's gonna be a good movie.
All right.
It looks fun. But now the question is, which do you see opening day? Do you see Oppenheimer or do you watch a Barbie? I don't know. I'm thinking Thursday night Barbie, sometime during the weekend Oppenheimer.
One of life's mysteries, Chris. Which to watch first?
The $1 million question. We'll see it when it comes.
Yep.
But I think the star of that month is definitely Mission Impossible. I love those movies.
Yep.
Those movies are just fantastic.
That featurette that was they put it out like a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago of the whole stunt.
Oh, yeah, the one with Avatar?
I don't know.
I think it was in theaters with Avatar.
Nice. Very cool.
Then probably write it in your notebook. Yes, it will. As soon as the credits are rolling, it's going to go in the letterbox list. I have watched The Flash. We are done. Barbie, I agree, I think. Thursday night Barbie, you sound like GTA respectable.
Okay, then the final movie of the summer, August 18th, as of right now, is Blue Beetle. I was looking ahead for like August movies. There wasn't too much, and that's kind of the real final summer movie, which I thought was kind of interesting. And that I guess it's not the end, but and then there wasn't too much for September and October. and I'm probably wrong about this, but there's got to be some kind of October horror release.
I don't think there is. We saw the end of Halloween. Literally, Halloween ends. I don't think there's like a Saw movie coming. There's no Friday the 13th.
Actually, there is.
There's
there is a Saw, and I left it off. Yes.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I think it's got.
They're
bringing back what's his name, Tobin Bell or whatever, Jigsaw.
I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah, but
any
big one.
The third one.
Yeah, third one. Yeah, Jesus, I don't know how many there are now. 9.
I don't
know. So that's. I didn't have anything for September and October, guys. But if any, there you go. Phil's not happy about it.
I'm not either, actually.
And then I've got November 3rd, Dune Part 2.
Yes.
It's going to be a long wait until November. Let me tell you that much.
Dune is like, that's the must-see movie. I love the first one so much. I didn't even think I would like it as much as I do. Because it was kind of like a blank slate for me. I had no idea what Dune was.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dune 2 looks, and plus the new cast members, that's exciting. Florence Pugh, Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Is there someone else?
There is one other person. I can't remember who it is that was announced for it.
They've got to have an October horror. They just probably haven't announced it. Yeah, maybe there is something coming that we don't know about.
Well, it's interesting. Scream 6 is in March, and then Evil Dead's in April. They're kind of two big, heavy ones right out the start of the year.
I know there's supposed to be a vampire movie. I think it's called The Voyage of the Demeter. Maybe they'll throw that in October. Or I'm sure there'll also be some kind of slasher. I mean, everybody loves slashers.
Absolutely.
The Nun 2 comes out in September. I didn't know that.
There you go.
Is there another Conjuring movie coming too?
I think that's maybe true. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe they could be. The last movie I have written down here as well, Chris, is just on Christmas Day, is Aquaman 2. Kind of the ending of maybe possibly the this run of DC movies. So, and that's on Christmas Day. That's I thought Avatar, the third one, came out this year, but it's next year.
Yeah, we'll get the onslaught again next year.
Yeah, that's right. More billions of dollars.
And next year we can't even pick on James Cameron.
No, he's a winner, man.
He talks so much stuff about this one. Like, it's okay if you go to the restroom. You'll just see it again when you come back for the second time. It's like, you're being too confident, James. No, he was right, apparently.
Yeah, the guys that just, as the kids say, W after W. The guy just makes hits. Every one of his movies are hits. W machine, yeah. So those are the big ones that I had written down for the movies this year, Chris. I don't know if there's anything else that I missed or anything else that you had thought about.
No, that pretty much covers for me. I mean, my big movies of the year, of course, are the comic book ones. Some more than others. Like Ant-Man and Shazam are probably the two I'm most excited to watch. Flash, like we said, I just want to get it over with, whatever it is. And then the rest of them kind of lay the chips where they are, I guess.
Sure.
Although I am excited for Guardians, but those other two are the top for me. Shazam and that one. And as far as horror goes, we got a lot of good stuff coming. I want to watch Sick tonight.
I was going to say, and already we have some good stuff. And I'm going to watch Sick this week too, as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Sick. We have Last of Us. Also, we didn't mention that at TV shows, but that's tonight, of course.
Yep. Yep.
I think it's going to be a very good year for movies, TV, comics. We'll see because we just don't know. But I'm sure there'll be something to like.
So if you had to
Wasteland again.
So what's your most anticipated movie for the year?
I kind of want to say Renfield.
Okay, so if you could watch Ted Lasso season 3, Renfield, or read Sins of Sinister, and you could only have one, which one would you pick?
Oh, don't do this to me. No. I don't know.
No answer? That's a tough one, isn't it?
I'll watch them. If I can't have them all, I don't want any of them.
I think that shows about how important it is, or not important, but how there's some big stuff coming this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't think I could pick between those three. I don't even know if Renfield is the most interesting. It probably is. I don't know. That's a tough question. There is a horror movie in October, Exorcist remake. Oh, yeah, there's Exorcist remake.
That's what old David Gordon Green's doing.
Yeah, so they finished Halloween out. Now they're going to do Exorcist. That I want to see.
There you go. Thank you, Phil.
Grabs would pick Ted Lasso season 3. Skinamarink sounds good too. Everybody's talking about this movie.
Like Skinamarink Dink.
Yeah,
I love you.
I guess.
Hmm.
But yeah,
We
everybody's
love-
telling me I want to see it, but I think it's theatrical only. And like I said, I don't like horror movies in theater, so I might wait for that one.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. That's our kind of a look ahead to 2023. That was our first show that we did over a year ago. Was our look ahead to 2022. So it's kind of cool that our second episode of 2023 is our look ahead to 2023. So now, if you all excuse me, I'm going to watch The Last of Us.
You're excused.
Chris, before we get on out of here, man, hit us up with some plugs.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at thatchris70. As always, though, I prefer you guys follow the show at G of the Geeks. Emmett is better with the rest of the plugs, so he'll take over.
You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettDavis7. We will have our first episode of Last of the Geeks. It'll be out on Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. So you have lots of time to watch the show Last of Us, either tonight or sometime later in the week. It's going to be Chris, me, and Nico from Vigilante 1939. We're going to be breaking down every episode, full spoilers of The Last of Us, and it'll be out on Thursdays, wherever you get your podcast. So if you're not subscribed to our podcast, just search Gathering of the Geeks wherever you get your podcasts, and you will find us there. I want to say thanks to Eric, Grabs, Cookie, Lauren, Phil, Zeddy, Aaron. I think that's everybody. Thanks as always, guys, for watching on a great Sunday evening. And we'll see you next week. And saying all that, for Chris, and I'm Emmett, and we gather on Sundays.
Have a good week, guys.